Alright, good morning, y'all. Sorry about the vent noise. And I know it's literally, the vent is literally right underneath the phone, but it's legitimately cold. If I care enough, I'll add the screenshot I just took a minute ago to it. It's 30 degrees here, and that's in Fahrenheit, not Celsius. 32 degrees is 0 degrees Celsius, so it's below 0 degrees Celsius, which means it's below freezing. And even though I don't normally get cold, I was literally just sitting here in my hoodie waiting for my vents to get a little bit warmer. I'm on my way to the thrift store now. I'm gonna stop at least one. If I can do two, that would be great. So I also want to get gas for my lawn boy mower. And I wanted to talk to you guys about something that a little scary. I know Madam Roy knows about this. Actually, he might not know full details, but he at least knows what happened. Where do I even start with this? So the project truck that I've been driving, has been driving great. And I don't know if I can explain this, but have you ever just had, and don't mind me, it's 6:51 a.m. and I don't normally leave the house for work until like 7 o'clock, but I just I couldn't lay in bed anymore. I don't know why. I just need to get up. So I'm like, let's do a quick thrift store run. I don't have a whole lot of money to spend right now, but let's see what's up. You ever just had that feeling where something's not right, even though everything feels like it is, and you're like, man, I just can't put my finger on it. Something's not right. Well, I had left work to go meet my dad. My dad lives like an hour and a half away from me. So actually he lives, probably closer to 2 hours away from me. And he lives down near Cape May, New Jersey. I live right up by I live in, I don't know the hell town I live in. But, I'm pretty much right here in Newcastle, Delaware. And so I met him at a halfway point between, where I live and where he lives, actually slightly more towards my way. I needed to meet with him to give him something, and he was giving me something. And where we met was, I don't know, a few miles from my storage unit. My storage unit was between where we met and where I live, so I'm like, let me just stop there real quick. I went to get an amplifier for the project truck, and so I went there, and as I'm coming out of the storage unit, luckily I'm in the parking lot, because I'm about ready to jump on the New Jersey Turnpike again. And on the way up there, I was doing between 75, 80 the whole way, and I was about to jump back on the turnpike again to do 75, 80, and I'm going to the parking lot, and I felt something weird, so I hit the brakes, and the whole passenger side front of the truck just goes bang right to the ground. That front end kit I installed from Rock Auto, brand SKP. The ball joints, they did like a normal. I'm going to try to put some pictures in. A typical ball joint has a castle nut and cotter pin set up. Then torque the castle nut down to a specific torque, and there's little notches that there's what they call a castle nut, look like top of the castle, and put the cotter pin through and bend the cotter pin, and that's to keep the cotter pin from coming loose. Oh, excuse me. Well, the cotter pin, or the ball joints I installed on the lower side at least, they didn't have cotter pins. They had lock nuts with the nylon lock nuts. And I wasn't really comfortable with that, but I'm like, well, you know, these companies, they do their research, and I know they're trying to cut costs where they can. Well, that nut came off, and the ball joint separated from the spindle, and the control arm was on the ground. While either when that happened or while getting it on the tow truck, that also wiped out the 2 tie rods on that side. So, along with the ball joint, I'm actually doing both ball joints on that side. Actually, I'm not doing it, my friend Wayne is, because I just don't have time, and I really don't feel like doing this on the ground anymore. So, he's doing the repair. I keep going past this one house here, and I remember back when I went to a yard sale there and got this Dell 486, I think it was, computer, and had all kinds of issues with that because I didn't know what the hell I was doing at the time. Speaking of which, I'm trying to do some research. I'm trying to find some old games I used to play. Mainly these old Sesame Street games we used to play on the Tandy 1000. And I'm wondering if they are processor specific. Like, you know, you gotta kind of run them on an 8086 or an 8088, or you know what I mean. It's still too early to, it's too freaking cold. It's too early to think like this. But, it's like, because I want to get them for my son to play. And, the thing is, like, I could probably play them on the, 5160, but I would need, but what I would need is a color graphics card for that, because the 5160 I have is monochrome. So there's that. I'm not sure if it's my screen brightness or if I really don't think I'm that dark. And don't mind me, I don't know, my glasses are annoying me. They're never, right now they're just not getting clean enough. I think I got it all now. But I wanted to explain what was going on with the project truck, because that was, in a word, pretty shitty. And pretty scary. And I'm very lucky that it happened where it happened. Because if it had happened on the turnpike, worst case scenario, I'd probably still be in the hospital on a body cast. So, alright, well, I'm just about to the thrift store, and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, I just left the thrift store. It turns out she doesn't accept computers and electronics much anymore, because she said that they weren't buying, and then people who did complained that they didn't work. And I ended up giving her my phone number and like, look, if you get stuff in, just, you know, give me a call. I'm like, so she might, from what I understand, she might just be giving them to me, or she might be charging me. I don't know. I did find a fire truck toy box and one of those little table things that kids bat around the crap on top of. But I'm off to the next thrift store. I don't know. It's just because she said that what she'll do is she'll give me a call and then tell me that they're just out back or something like that. I don't know if that means that I'm supposed to leave money or what. So we'll find out, hopefully. I told her, I said, I'm not really that interested in like the mid-2000s computers, like Pentium 4 garbage or stuff like that. I'm really not. There's got enough space heaters. Actually, what I'm going to do, because this other thrift store doesn't open yet, I'm going to run to grab something out of my truck that's at the shop. Hopefully it's not inside the shop at the moment. But yeah, because last I heard they were working on the outside. If nobody's there, I'll go ahead and just shoot a quick video if it isn't fixed yet and show you what happened. But yeah, it was nuts, man. Yeah, actually, I think I surprised the lady at the thrift store. I found 2 things out of the whole store that I wanted, which was the 2 things I got. And it was to use your debit card. It's a $10 limit. So it was one was $6 and the other was $5, so $11, no problem. Well, today was 50% off everything in the store. And she's like, well, so that's what was it, like $5.50 or something like that. I said, well, I'm like, I need to use my debit card. Can you just make it 10? She's like, oh, if you want. I'm like, look, I don't feel like going back out and trying to find $4 worth of stuff. But I mean, it's like, I don't mind paying for what I get, if that makes sense. So yeah, yesterday was just a stressful day. It's like I had to work on Black Friday, and I work in a retail establishment, but luckily not the type of retail establishment that has a bunch of morons. Like if I worked at a Walmart, I probably would have quit. But I don't, so. So basically, we were dead pretty much the whole day, because nobody's thinking of AutoZone on Black Friday. Now, we had a couple really nice Black Friday sales. One is, where they go from the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 3-day sales. One of which is, I don't know if I've showed the toolkit in any videos, but I have this 180-piece, what they call the Master Service Kit, which has all 180 pieces. And normally it goes for $129. Under my discount, it's like $89. They had it on sale for $84.99. And then they had the Black Friday sale for $69.99. Well, my wife's uncle was eyeing it up one day when I was putting something together, and he was saying it's a really nice kit. So I figured, hey, that'll work for a Christmas present for him. So I picked that up. So I need to wrap that at some point. Oh wow, they actually put a house up on There's this, Ryan Homes, okay. There was this development that they were starting to build right here, God, when I was in high school. And then, for whatever reason, just somebody somewhere pulled the plug on it. I don't know what happened. And it never got done. So now it looks like somebody's taking over and they're starting to build now. And luckily I don't have to have the heater on that much right now because the car's already pretty much warm. I've got about 65, 70 out of the vents right now, which is just fine for me. I don't like a lot of heat. I also don't like to be freezing either. I used to like to be freezing. Years ago when I was in Wisconsin, I did that, what do they call it, the Polar Bear Club, where I jumped in the lake in the winter. That was fun. I don't think I could do that now. I'd probably die. But actually, there's a lot of things that's like if I did, I'd die. I was actually at church. My niece was showing off, like doing splits and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, if I did that now, I'd be in the hospital. And it's like, no, thank you. Like, good on you for being able to do that, but no, that would put me in the hospital. Yeah, oh, and another life update real quick. The house we were looking at, looks like we were just a few days too late, and it's already under contract now, so the search continues, so that wasn't the right one. I know God's got the right one set in line for us. There's another one that we're talking to the realtor about that's not within walking distance of my job, but it's only 5 minutes by car, if that. Hey, there's a yard sale. I'm gonna do a quick drive-by, see if there's anything cool there. See, you know what would make yard sales better is if people had, credit card readers on their phone, or I actually joked about it and actually accepted it once at a yard sale, but had somebody pay me with PayPal. Because they said, hey, let me get money. I'm like, hey, if you want to pay with PayPal, I can accept PayPal. And yeah, she did it. I didn't see anything good there. I'm sure, like, if I got out, I'd probably find something I want, but if it doesn't, I'm not that, like, you know, it's weird, is I like thrift stores, but I'm not that big on yard sales. But, that can go away. Oh, wow, I'm surprised at the field of view of this camera. And I feel like I was just down here dropping off parts for them. Christmas trees for sale already? Good Lord. Also, Christmas trees for sale down that road? I don't think I need a Christmas tree enough to go down that road. But, oh yeah, back to those front end parts that broke on me. So it turns out, excuse me, my friend Wayne, you know, they own a towing company and repair shop up the road. He was telling me that, and he goes, dude, you put the upper ball joints on wrong. I'm like, one of the reasons I bought the control arms is because they were already assembled. They put washers in the wrong place, so you kind of like spaced the ball joint out. And it should have been spaced like that. and because that would lead to premature wear. Oh shit! Like, well, can you check the other side? But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're actually not doing all 4 ball joints, but what he is doing is he is going to take red thread locker and coat the inside the bolt, or he's going to coat the bolt with it so that they don't just come apart like the other side did, and try to make it much safer. What I'm going to do is I'm almost to that shop. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Man, I don't see anybody out there. See, this guy has a thrift store. It's part of his church, but he doesn't open till like 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and it's like, it's not cool. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Get the gas for my mower. Oh, cool! My wheel is on the ground right now, so I can't really show what happened, but. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and, looks like he used that plywood to work on the truck, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, get gas, go to the thrift store. If anything cool happens, I'll let you know. See, this is the thrift store I used to volunteer at, the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and they're pretty much bust. They had a whole stack of keyboards and some other little computer stuff, and I'm just like, eh. They had some crappy Kobe speaker set, and again, nah. But they did give me a free puncher and a free one of these style snakes. And the interesting thing is, these are made by Cobra Products, which is actually made in Swedesboro, New Jersey, which is actually pretty much right where I had that incident with my truck that hopefully I was smart enough to put the pictures in underneath. And so that was kind of interesting. It's like, I guess they gave a whole bunch of these to Restore, and you know, funny thing is, the lady in there was saying that when she talked to the board, going, oh no, that's silly, that's silly, given because today they called a Small Business Saturday. And which I think is a pretty cool thing, you know, shopping at small businesses. And she was saying that the board members were like, oh no, that's silly, that's but people like free things. So if you're giving somebody something for free, it don't really matter if it's a pack of gum. You know, they'll appreciate it. It'll make it feel like they actually are cared about as a business. So, but I just think that's pretty cool, and they just something that was nice, I guess. I could probably stop for him. It's 8:41 right now. I hung out there for a while. I used to volunteer there, and there were some things I didn't like. As a person who is a thrift store shopper, and was that when it comes to most of the things, they sell it for 70% of what the original retail was. And when it comes to electronics, they would go on eBay. So like, you'll notice that there's a bunch of idiots that'll try to sell like these Pentium 4 Dells, like let's just say a Dell 8600, they'll try to sell for like $150 on eBay as a retro machine, when the reality is they're not going to get anywhere near that. They will so she'll go on there and be like, oh well, there's 4 posts where there's $125, so we'll sell it for $110 or $100 or just $100, and it's like, eh. And I kept showing her, I'm like, go on eBay, type in a product, and then you hit completed listings and sold listings. They'll show what they actually sold for. And goes, oh, okay, and then they never do that. And it's like, you do it for what it actually sells for. Even sometimes that's stupid, because the fact that people will pay almost $200 for a Pentium 4 system just because some big dummy put Windows 98 on it or something does not mean that that's what its worth is. However, the product's worth is what somebody is willing to pay for it. So, like, when people complain about the price of Apple computers, especially their resale price, you know, that's how capitalism works. You have a product, your product is worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. You know, I'm not trying to be an Apple fanboy. It's just, that's what it is. And but I'm almost home now. I just had that little rant. The fact that there's people still cutting grass, which I actually plan to cut grass today. I want to I mainly want to run over the leaves. It's either do it today or tomorrow. No matter how you do that, somebody thinks it's a Sabbath, so. But I just was out and about. See how my truck responds. The equipment that I was getting gas for recommends 91 or higher gas. So what I did is I put got $25. I put the gallon or 1.8 gallons to mix for the it's a two-stroke equipment, and then I just put the rest of my Envoy. I'll see how the Envoy responds to premium. I normally run 89 in it, but I put 91 in it. And, that's weird. My neighbor has his car with the wheel off of it sitting on blocks, on concrete blocks. Alright, well, like I said, I'm probably not going to do anything more today that's worthwhile of producing videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and call this a vlog. And, you know, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.